Okay, I guess since I started talking, now I have to talk about challenges.
Yes.
I think that for me, the challenge is always, what do I want to do next? Because everyone always wants to know, how do you get your story ideas? And that's never my problem, because I can walk down the street and like a whole story will pop into my head, and I'm sitting there thinking about imaginary people instead of interacting with real people. I have a great social life. But my problem is always trying to figure out which story is the one that I can focus on long enough to write the whole thing, if that makes any sense. Because I have an entire folder on my computer called Backburner, and it is literally just full of story ideas. Like I'll just write down a snippet or a first page and throw it in there. And if I think about it long and hard enough and want to come back to it, then I go back and start writing that. But choosing which one is really, really hard for me.
I think for me, my challenge and my reward are kind of the same thing, because I have a lot of trouble transitioning between promotion and writing. Like, I'm a natural introvert. Like, I could gladly stay in my house and often do for months at a time and don't come out. And when I do, I'm talking to myself constantly and occasionally have broccoli in my hair. But I'm that lady. But I love to go out. I love to go to events and meet readers, and that's sort of the greatest reward, is when you meet people who have read your book and who are, I mean, if they didn't like the book, it's less exciting. But if they did, you know, that's sort of, it makes the book more real. A lot of the time I feel like none of this is real and that I'm actually lying in a coma somewhere imagining the whole thing. So that makes it feel much more real to me. But it's also like when I come off of tour, I can't write when I'm on tour, and when I come off of tour, I need about a week to sort of lie around and not do anything and watch a lot of Project Runway reruns and just, you know, and not be a writer. And sometimes when you're on deadline, that's a luxury you can't afford. So that's the challenge of the one.
I think we would all agree with Leigh that, of course, meeting people who have read our books or who are interested in reading our books is a great reward. I enjoy being surprised in the process of writing. I am rarely surprised. I wouldn't say that I'm a methodical outliner, but I usually know quite well what's going to happen in my books. But, for example, there's a character in The Winter's Curse who initially doesn't seem like an important character. I mean, he's the auctioneer, and I liked him. I thought, you know, this is he's inappropriate, he's funny, and his character took such an unexpected turn, and he did things that I was not expecting him to do. And although I am not usually one of these writers who says the characters speak instead of me speaking, that it's the character who speaks up, or the character does things that I haven't planned. In this case, and in some other cases, I have been surprised. And that feeling of surprise is such a pleasurable sensation that that is definitely one of the rewards in writing.
They're coming for you.
Yeah, those are the cops. One of the biggest challenges for me, she brought up outlining, that she's not a really methodical outliner. Up until Of Neptune, I haven't been either. I thought that outlining really inhibited my creativity. It's kind of like when you get in the shower with your bra still on, and like something just doesn't feel right, like it's just off. You know, it's like a moment when you should be completely free, and you're just held back. That's how I felt about outlines. Bra in the shower. And so, but with Neptune, I'm learning the value of an outline because...
in and of itself.
I beg your pardon?
It's a reward to hear you talk about your bra.
Exactly.
Thank you.
We are rewarded. I feel rewarded right now.
I haven't done that recently, probably within the last month or two, but
She claims that people do this, and we just stare at her, because
Exactly.
I've never done this. Has
Show
anyone
of
done
hands.
this? Please.
okay,
You are lying. You are totally lying.
Nuh-uh, it's like forgetting to take your socks. I mean, it just doesn't have to be a bra. It could just be like anything. Like, oh my god, I forgot to take my stinking shirt off before I got in the shower.
I do outline, and I wonder if that's like like putting your clothes on in order to go into the shower. Like, I'm trying to understand how the analogy works.
No, that outlining is the being naked part, the planning for it.
We have no idea where this
You
metaphor
guys
has
get
gone.
it, right?
But I like
But people
this
are
way.
naked and not naked in showers. That's all you need to know.